What is going on, awesome people? Tactical here. I'm back making videos. I am beyond excited. I finally got some better camera gear here. And we're recovering from what COVID has done financially. So just like a lot of other people, I unfortunately lost a good deal of firearms due to just having to make ends meet. But I'm happy to say I'm in front of the camera again, and I'm back doing what I love the most after seems like 4 or 5 years. Anyway, without further ado, I want to talk about one of my favorite firearms that I now own, and that is this guy that everyone sleeps on. This is the P-Match Pro, or EAA Witness, Tanfoglio Witness, whatever you call it, Stock 3P. This is their competition race gun, but it's chambered in 10 millimeter. It has a multitude of great pros about it, and there's also a few gimmicks and cons that I do want to talk about. Just a few quirks that it has, design choices the engineers made that don't make much sense. But yeah, I'm happy to be back here. Without further ado, we're going to get into this guy and talk about it. Alrighty, everyone, so here's the firearm here, and before we proceed any farther, I'm going to do what I did in the past. We have an empty mag here. Okay, absolutely no rounds in the chamber, so this firearm is considered safe. Okay, which also kind of leads us into our other gimmicky feature. Normally with a single action, double action firearm, there is a decocker. On this particular firearm, this is your safe. You can't pull the trigger and you can't decock it, so that's the quirk I mentioned. I don't know why the design engineers went with that. So you do have to actually lower the hammer spur, which I really don't like doing. So anyway, yeah, this is the firearm, and I guess due to a new firearm rule or whatever with YouTube, I have to mention that this is a non-high cap magazine. It's only capable of holding 10 rounds. The versions of this that are sold in the free states can actually hold up to 14, but this particular variant in Washington state can only hold 10, so this is what we have rocking. Okay, next up, we're going to talk about the second variation of this firearm. It's completely identical. The only difference is some of them come with the red T here. It has a flared out magwell, and the bore is smooth. There's no Picatinny rail, and it's single action only. This guy is single action, double action, meaning you can put her in single action, or you can fire it in double action. The sights are adjustable. This is another weird quirk here, as well as it's a black silhouette sight. There's no tape there, or not tape, excuse me. There's no white dot or any optics of any type. You can, however, put them on yourself, but it's just kind of an interesting design choice for a gun that's marketed as like a race gun. The slide as well shares the same design as a CZ75, meaning that it is held on by internal rails here in the frame. What this does for me personally that I found is it allows me to get a very good purchase on the gun. It helps to control recoil quite well. The other kind of undesired effect that this has, though, is when you want to fire the higher end 10 millimeter rounds through this gun, you do want to upgrade the stock 18-pound recoil spring. I have a 22-pound Wolf spring, and there are obviously no front serrations, as you see with pretty much every modern firearm. This is my SIG P320 chambered in 45, and this is my CZ P10S chambered in 9 millimeter. Of course, again, these are newer guns, and you can see that there's front serrations to assist you with pulling the slide back. This guy, you've got just this little piece here to hang on to. It's not horrible, but when you put that 22-pounder in there, it does get to be a little challenging. There is the extended magazine release, which I do like. Seems like it would be obnoxious, but it really isn't. It's easy to kind of get your hand around that and actuate it if you need to. There is an ambidextrous safety here, as you can see. So that is kind of cool for a race gun. So if you're left-handed, you can actuate that as well. The slide release is one-sided, so that's another interesting design choice. The takedown of this firearm, I can't show that as well due to new YouTube rules, but all I can kind of clue into is it's pretty standard. You may or may not have to remove the slide release. So other things just to talk about, this is a great gun. People just really sleep on it. The steel versions of the earlier models had an issue with cracking on the slides. This one has personally had at least 1,000 rounds through it that I've fired. When I bought it from a pawn shop, it was kind of a lucky find, which you guys don't sleep on those pawn shops. They have some pretty good firearms in there. I just go there because I like treasure hunting, and this would be considered a treasure. I got this for about $800. So that's kind of the ballpark for what these are going for. I assume they're going to go up in value. It does come in 9mm, I believe 45. So it comes in a multitude of different models, which did concern me at first because normally with 10mm, the frames are a little bit beefier, but this one seems to share the same frames as the other counterparts that it has. Just again, to me, it's a beautiful firearm. Some people don't like the way it looks. I personally do. It shoots pretty well. The stippling is not too aggressive. Doesn't rough you up too much. Sorry guys, my camera moved. It doesn't rough you up too much. Also, the protruding magazine release makes things kind of cool. It's not ambi, but it kind of just allows you to get a really good purchase. That beaver tail, that aggressiveness of it makes recoil a lot more comfortable. Because what you notice is with some of these 10mm that you fire, i.e. Glock, it can really dig into your hand just from the shape of the beaver tail, but this guy just kind of hooks in there and makes things a lot easier. The sight picture is pretty decent with the exception of there not being a silhouette there, or excuse me, a white dot. So again, you can change that with a little Allen key there. This is also a hiking gun for me and my fiance. This is just what I carry here. I trust it that much. I've fired underwood through it. I've dangerous loads from Buffalo Bore, I've ran those through this guy. Again, if you do, I really recommend that you upgrade that recoil spring, because what I was finding was it was slamming the slide to the rear pretty aggressively. So if you are gonna use this for backwoods protection, which is completely capable of, I would definitely look into upgrading that recoil spring to get this guy running the way it needs to. Stock out of the box just fine. Cellular and below, I've had excellent luck with, not a single malfunction. It's right there in the middle of getting your feet wet with 10mm if you want to try it out, but you don't want to spend too much, but at the same time you want to see kind of the advantages over 40, then I definitely recommend cellular and below, great ammo. But yeah, guys and gals, this is just kind of, I don't know, I'm sorry if I'm just prattling on. I'm just really happy to make videos again, and I haven't seen very many reviews on this particular firearm, specifically in 10mm. And I had to get one out there just for anyone that's looking to see how this gun is. Pick it up, buy it. It is well worth the money. It looks fantastic. It feels fantastic. It's super reliable. You just kind of have to get past some of the quirks that it has, i.e. no decocker. So yeah, there's that. And if you do go with this firearm, if you're gonna do woods carry, I personally prefer to get the Pro. You can use your flashlight here with the Picatinny rail or whatever accessories you want to put on it. Lights, lasers, you know, lions, tigers, bears, oh my, whatever you want to put on there, you can put on there. Again, just take a look at it. Great firearm. And thank you guys for watching my review. I am happy to be back. Stay safe out there, and America.